For years, Mark Graban has been getting people to talk about their favorite mistakes on his very popular podcast, My Favorite Mistake. Well, today I turn the tables and I ask Mark about his favorite mistakes and what happened as a result. It's a conversation you'll want to hear, so stay tuned. Hi, I'm Karin Reed. I'm a four-time author, Emmy Award-winning broadcast journalist, and communication expert on helping people to own the room, whether it be a physical one or a virtual one. Welcome to Speaker Dynamics. Mark Graban, thank you for agreeing to provide a little bit more of your wisdom here. And one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about is kind of turning the tables, because you have lots of people talk to you about their favorite mistake and the mistakes that made them. How about you? What are your favorite mistakes or the ones that make you?
I've made a lot of mistakes in different contexts. So when people throw that question at me, the two answers. The one is a couple of times in my career, I've chosen a job that a company in hindsight was kind of a mistake. I didn't enjoy it as much as I thought I might. And so one of those jobs started 25 years ago this year. I only stayed with that company about 2 years and I left, but I met my wife because I took that job and because I was in Austin, Texas, and we just had our 23rd anniversary. So that goes into the category of a happy accident.
Right. And the mistakes that made your marriage.
yeah, it's made my life. So taking the job was a mistake. But as we talk about in the podcast, sometimes you can find the positive that comes out of a career mistake and embrace that or celebrate that. But then, I always also think about, a time earlier in my career, this is going back probably 15 years ago, where as an engineer, and I still had the bad habit, and some of it was reinforced, I think, by the company I was working with at the time and their culture. But I was still too hell-bent on being the one who comes up with the answer and the solution. And I'm going to implement it and try to bring people along with me. But, if you're, and the lesson I learned and I've gotten much better at is if you don't engage people from the beginning, it's too late, right? Like people really are more likely to support and embrace and sustain something they helped create. So the mistake was trying to be too much of an expert, too much of a doer, and less of a facilitator. And so I made some shifts, and then realizing that some organizations want a consultant to be that expert, that doer, that forces change on people. I try to be careful I don't put myself in that kind of situation and make clear to clients, I think I'm not going to do the Liam Neeson accent, but I have a particular set of skills. And it's better and more effective that those skills include being able to engage, people that are really doing the work. That I bring a lot in as an outsider. I have fresh eyes. I can teach some methodology. I can coach people through things. But, thankfully, I didn't keep repeating that mistake, because there could have been another path where I'm like, I kept making that mistake, but I keep blaming those people that don't cooperate with me. I'm like, no, I was able to adapt.
Being the siloed consultant versus the collaborator in chief, and orchestrating all of the thought processes and hopefully coming to an outcome that everybody feels they were a part of. I think that's a great takeaway, and one that, boy, nice to have everybody have that mindset. I've seen the individuals who are just going to do it all themselves. So that's really great for you to share that, Mark. I appreciate it, and I'm sure our listeners will as well.
Thanks.